This is my new MacBook Air M1. So you know me as a Windows and Android guy. Syempre, I'm using less of the Apple devices. So we are up for a challenge and review this MacBook Air M1. So wag na tayo mag-intro and let's start this review. So this is the box, and outside of the box we have the MacBook itself, the charger, the cable, and the MacBook itself again. So let's start with the design of the MacBook. So what we have here is a space gray variant. But for the looks of it is parang hindi siya space gray yung itsura. Kasi parang silver lang yung itsura niya instead of just saying gray. Right? So huwag na natin i-complement yung color niya mismo. So what we have here is pretty minimalistic and very demure yung kanyang design. So syempre, alam nyo na is that the design is not just about looks. Is that it's how the MacBook Air is used to be designed. From the word Air itself, alam na natin na magaan siya sa kamay. And at the same time, very compact and can easily carry with one hand kasi magaan lang to siya sa kamay. And alamin natin na bakit magaan siya and at the same time, manipis yung MacBook Air na to. So the MacBook Air is using a unibody design. So which means na wala siyang chassis. Its body is considered as a structure sa MacBook mismo. And parang sasakyan lang yan na sedan na walang chassis but the body frame itself is considered the structure of the car mismo. Because of its tablet-like size, very easy to carry and very compact na rin para ilagay sa bag nyo. In the same time, manipis siya because as you look at the bottom, wala siyang vents which means wala siya cooling fan. So alamin na natin na bakit walang cooling fan yung MacBook Air mismo. So now let's go with the overall software. So out from the box is that we already have the Mac OS 13 Ventura pre-installed. Pero because the Mac OS 15 has already been released this year, so alamin natin anong nasa loob ng Mac OS 15 Sequoia. The Mac OS 15 Sequoia is what I will describe as an Apple ecosystem metaverse, which means to immerse your Apple devices into one immersive productivity. So usapan natin yan kasi the Mac OS 15 Sequoia integrates Apple Intelligence. Pero spoiler alert, baka madismaya kayo. The Mac OS 15, it is said to release with Apple Intelligence alongside with iPad OS 18 and iOS 18 since sila yung pinaka-highlight sa update na yon, which is yung Apple Intelligence again. So since meron na sa settings natin yung Apple Intelligence, and the reality is nakaka-disappointing lang kasi they said to release it here pero under beta testing pa lang pala si Apple Intelligence mismo. So which means that the Apple Intelligence still doesn't exist hanggang ngayon unless you will sign in sa kanilang beta phase. Also, do not be discouraged kasi even though wala pa si Apple Intelligence, at least meron tayong AI features nandito na sa Mac OS 15. And I will tell you about it. It can solve math problems using notes. Also, yan palang alam ko sa AI features na yon nandito pa sa Mac OS 15. But now we will going through with some new features nandito rin sa Mac OS 15 Sequoia. You can move tabs to each side. Meron tayong selection of tabs for your comfort. Multitasking is better than ever. Apple is well known for its fluidity and faster operation speeds. Also, as a Windows user, what I have noticed is that the Apple MacBook is well known for its more on gestural base and complex shortcuts. So what do I mean about Apple ecosystem metaverse is that you can mirror your own iPhone pero sadly only iOS 18 above lang. So the iPhone mirroring is just like Huawei's ecosystem na pwede mo ma-mirror yung phone mo sa tablet mo at sa laptop mo mismo in order for easy productivity. And then like you can just drag your photos inside the notes or the Microsoft Word mismo galing sa phone mo na na-mirror. Now let's go sa laptop hardware, and this is actually very interesting. So this MacBook is using an Apple Silicon ARM-based M1 chip. And there is an interesting story about it. So before that, lunch tayo. Mga older MacBooks are using Intel x86 processors. What's great about it, it uses complex instructions like intensive gaming and other complex programs. Wag na natin komplikaduhin and let's explain about it. So, Apple wanted efficiency with lowest energy consumption possible while maintaining its performance to be powerful. So, this M1 chip revolutionized ARM-based laptops, which is why a lot of MacBooks are now shifting from x86 processors to the basic ARM RISC chipsets to maintain its efficiency and at the same time the compatibility ng mga laptops. So, sa nabanggit ko is na bakit walang cooling fan si MacBook Air, it's because Apple uses different type of architecture which is the ARM-based chip. So, to clarify, the ARM RISC chips are common sa mobile devices because it is efficient and uses less power consumption compared to the CISC x86 thanks to its basic instruction architecture. Huwag na natin talakayin, let's go back to our review. Yung M1 chip is constructed on 5nm node. To test its performance, wala tayong Antutu benchmark dito. So, bummer, I am using this MacBook to test its CPU cores capability. These are the scores sa Geekbench, which is a CPU core-based benchmark. You can see how powerful M1 Max in today's standards. Just a single core is equivalent to the score of a brand new Snapdragon 8 Elite. Pero when it comes sa gaming, wag niyo na asahan tong MacBook na to kasi hindi naman siya meant for gaming but overall productivity. However, capable naman si M1 for gaming if naka-iPad lang kayo. Yung maganda sa Apple is yung capability of smooth rendering process, which is maganda yon sa video editing and productivity. However, there are lots of caveats dito. Now let's go sa sounds and app stores niya. Yung sounds ng MacBook is pretty loud and very buo, like parang naka-Bluetooth speaker ka. And heto naman yung App Store ng MacBook. And syempre, there are some applications na okay sa MacBook and some applications na hindi siya verified but only applies to iPad and iOS only. Example, heto, si Honor of Kings na supposed to be makita sa iPad at iPhones, andito nasa Mac OS. And specifically designed siya sa iPad OS, the screen ratio niya is still the same as what the iPads have. Now let's move on sa camera review ng MacBook Air M1 natin. And it is very weird na bakit kailangan pa rin mag-camera review ng mga laptop. Well, here's the catch. So, to be honest with you is that yung mga camera qualities ng mga laptop natin is very pangit. And there's a reason na bakit pangit yung mga camera quality ng mga laptop. Ang target market ng laptop is almost magkaiba sa smartphones. Sa smartphones, there are different types of how they market their target consumers, like camera, display, and pang-gaming. Pero sa laptop naman is, syempre magkaiba. Yung target mo lang is productivity, pang-office, and pang-gaming. Yun lang. So as you could see is that laptop manufacturers doesn't care about camera quality. Instead, they just put it there for video communication aspects like video conference, meeting, and Discord. All of the programs used in the laptop is just office, video editing, and pang-gaming. Pero, sa camera application na yon, it was barely used. This is the photo booth which also came from the older iPad versions. Since it came from the iPad versions, it will also have the same layout as the iPads. Ito yung camera ng MacBook Air mismo. It's overexposed and at the same time the colors are a little bit faint but it gets the job done sa colors. Pero compared to the iPhone 8, it's almost identical. They added some AI features rin dito which is yung portrait, studio light, and background during video conference calls. And heto naman yung sample videos niya and audio sa video conference like Messenger. So, this is a sample video calling or video conferencing camera ng MacBook mismo, and kamusta naman yung mic quality? So, we're testing the mic quality on a video conference mismo and the video calling. So, for me is parang buong buo yung tunog sa camera ko sa Poco F3. But anyway, what's your opinion? Video quality ng MacBook is not so great, but the audio quality is parang nakahawak ka ng cellphone or studio microphone. But when it comes to overall resolution is parang naka-laptop pa rin, but there is still color and such na bakit maganda si MacBook when it comes to video conferencing. So what my opinions as a Windows user about using a MacBook? Well, actually it's pretty great. At the same time, it's gesture-based. Also, this is the first laptop that I have experience using an ARM-based chip. Is talagang mabilis naman si MacBook when it comes to these tasks. But for gaming, syempre, I don't think that you could game on this laptop. Yung cons naman is may konting kabagalan sa Google Chrome, but the rest of the applications is working fast. But the same time is wala pa rin tayong Apple Intelligence sa MacBook mismo, which is kind of a bummer na naka-update na tayo sa macOS 15 Sequoia, and Apple is expecting us to have the Apple Intelligence pre-installed already sa mga iPhones. However, this is still in beta phase. Also, since si Apple is the first one to integrate Apple Silicon ARM-based chip sa kanilang MacBook Air, which is yung M1, which is the first one, are we transitioning from the x86 processors to the ARM-based processors na nagamit na sa mga laptops ngayon? To answer that question is, yes, slowly, but not yet possible. So, bakit hindi pa siya posible? We'll answer that question. Is that yes, these ARM-based laptops are generally good for efficiency and at the same time long-lasting battery life. Pero, there is one Windows laptop na may ARM-based chipset, but gawa rin ni Qualcomm yung chipset na yon, which is yung kanilang Snapdragon X Elite. And it's the Samsung Galaxy Book na meron Snapdragon X Elite chip na may Orion V1 cores. It's a 12-core processor, and at the same time, it's an ARM-based chip. Pero, there is one problem because since there are less users pa rin gumamit ng Mac mismo dito sa Philippines, majority of the users dito is gumamit ng Windows. The only thing about ARM-based laptops sa Windows is that meron tayong mga incompatibility issues sa ARM-based na mga laptops. It's because, number one, all the programs from the Windows are still from the x86 processors. But now, Microsoft has redesigned their code to support the x86 programs into the ARM-based laptops. And that's quite a good thing. But, it is still not yet possible. Kasi, in terms of performance, medyo malayo pa rin compared sa mga x86 processors. But, for now, at least, ang masasabi ko lang is, we are transitioning slowly, but it's still not yet possible. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. So, please subscribe to my channel.